Hello and welcome to Noonia Sir's English classes. Today we'll study articles. Articles are of two types, indefinite and definite. A and N are known as indefinite articles and there is known as definite article. Now we'll see the definition. So articles are the words which determine and define the status and meaning of a noun. Status means whether the noun is definite or indefinite. We are talking about some specific noun or we are talking about the noun in general way. And meaning of the noun also, whether it is one in number or many. So in this way, articles are very helpful to give a certain meaning to the noun. They tell us whether the noun being talked about is singular, generic means being discussed in common way, or specific, or its very particular way. Now, where to use a and where to use n? The usage of a and n depends on the sound of the words which follows articles. So over here we need to listen to how the words is pronounced. Don't look at the spelling because in English certain letters are silent in the beginning. So always go for sound when you have to make a choice between A or N. Example is given over here. A book. A is used before a consonantal sound, whereas N is used before the vowel sound. So a book, because B is consonant sound, that's why it takes A. Then one more thing, when A is used in a sentence, we don't pronounce it as A, rather the pronunciation becomes A. So here we pronounce the word like phrase a book. An R, we can see the spelling of R is H-O-U-R, H being a consonant, but it's being silent. The first sound that comes out is O. Ah, sorry, not O. Ah, and that's why this is a vowel. So an R. The same way we can see in European, the word begins with a vowel E, but the first sound that comes out is Ye. European, Ye sound. And Ye is a consonant. That's why we'll use A, not N. A car, a lion, but an insect. E is vowel. The same way, next word, again, university. The word begins with U, which is a vowel, but the first sound that comes out is Ye, not U. That's why. An umbrella, even in the short forms, MLA. So M is a consonant, but when we pronounce the word letter M, the first sound is A. A is a vowel sound, that's why an MLA. And in such type of the cases, students commit mistakes many times, so be careful. A horse, an hour, I think this got repeated. A plant. Now, next is hotel. It depends on the speaker, how the word is spoken. When people speak fast, they tend to delete, make H silent, like hotel. When the speaker is pronouncing the word Hotel as hotel in fluent way, then it is an hotel. If you speak with the strong pronunciation, then it becomes a hotel. So be careful. A task, an angry man, a 2-hour show, a unit, and an 8-hour journey. 8, the first sound is vowel sound. So in this way, the choice between A and N depends on the first sound of the word they are used before. If this is consonantal sound, use A. If it is vowel sound, then use N. Moving to next is use of A and N. how they define the nouns, the meaning that comes out when we use a or n before noun. We'll study over here. A or n is used before singular noun. We cannot use a or n before plural nouns. The reason being they mean just one. When we talk about the noun in general sense, then we use a or n. Like say, they live in a flat. A over here means any flat. He bought a car, any car, not a specific one. We are talking about flat and car in general way. And the speaker and the person who is listening to, they are not sure about which flat and which car is being talked about. In that case, we call it general way. We use a or n before noun, and that noun represents the whole class. A car should be insured. Example is, a car should be insured. So a car means any car, means all the cars in this world should be insured. So car over here represents all the cars in this world. Next one is, a child needs good education. It doesn't mean that only one child needs good education. It means all the children in this world need good education. So when we use a or n before a particular noun, any noun you can say, so that represents the whole class of that type. Next is, we use a or n before the name of profession. Like my father is a doctor. Now doctor is being a profession, we need to use either a or n as per the first sound of the word. So doctor, that is consonantal sound, so a. I am a teacher. So teacher is a profession, that's why it takes a or n before it as per the sound. Next one is, a or n is followed by phrase of quantity. Certain phrases are there which are used to show the quantity in number. So in those phrases we need to be very alert and aware. They are very limited in number, so always use a or n as per the situation demands. A lot of, a couple of, a dozen of, a great many, a great deal of, etc. These are few, as I told, that limited number of the phrases, we must memorize them. A and n plus number. So we use before the number also 100, 1,000, etc. A or n plus half means a and n are used with the fractions also. You can see 1.5 kilo. So when the fraction follows the whole number, in that case we use a or n before the fraction. The same expression can also be said like 1.5 kilos. Either we can say 1.5 kilo. In this first example we are using a before the fraction, but in second we are using before the whole number as well as before the fraction. 1.5 kilos. This is also accepted. We also can say half and a kilo or a half holiday. These are certain other examples. Next one is, a or n is used before price, speed, frequency or ratio. Like 20 rupees a kilo. When we are telling the rate of some commodity, then we say 20 rupees a kilo, 50 rupees a dozen, 70 kilometer an hour, speed of the vehicle. First one is the price. Next is 3 times a day, that is the frequency. Maybe the doctor is giving guidelines to the patient how many times the medicine should be taken. 3 times a day, twice a day, once a day, this way. 150 rupees a meter. Again, this is price. Next is, we use in exclamatory sentences beginning with what and such. These expressions show the exclamation. Such a garden means the speaker is very much thrilled and happy to, means so surprised to see the garden, beauty of the garden maybe. What a nice day. So when these expressions are in a singular way, then we use a or n before them. Coming to next is, with proper noun, when the speaker is not well acquainted with the person. By the way, proper nouns do not take any article, means we use zero article before the proper nouns. But there is one case when we have to use either a or n. When the speaker knows only the name of the person he is talking about, he doesn't know anything else about. He is not well acquainted about the person, his behavior, profession, family background. Nothing is known to him. Only name is known. So in that case, we use either a or n before the name, like a Mr. Rakesh or a Mrs. Malik. It means in Hindi also we say a Mr. Rakesh, कोई राकेश नाम का व्यक्ति, a Mrs. Malik, कोई मलिक श्रीमती Malik, कोई श्रीमती Malik. In this way, in Hindi also we use like koi word. So in English, a or n in this particular category mean koi, any. Now omission of a or n means when to use zero article. We don't have to use. So there are three situations. Number one, don't use a or n before the plural nouns, because a or n means just one in number, but plural there are many in number. That's why we needn't any article, but they can be used before them. But in this slide we are talking about especially a or n, so that's why we'll drop them. Next one is don't use with uncountable nouns. Uncountable nouns also don't take a or n, like liquids, oils, for example water, milk. We don't use a water, a milk. It's wrong. Gases, metals, grains and cereals. So all these are non-countable nouns. That's why we don't use a or n before them. Oxygen is the basic requirement of life. We don't say an oxygen is basic. That will be wrong. First example is mobiles have become necessity of life. Mobiles being plural, we don't use a or n before them. Coming to third category is don't use with the names of the meals. But yes, over here in watch out section, we'll see before the name of the meals like breakfast, lunch and dinner. When we use an, it gives a different meaning. When we do not use, or we can say when we use a zero article before the name of the meals, then it means differently. How? They were invited to dinner. So dinner is used without a or n. No article is used. It means it's quite simple. Ordinarily the person was invited. There was no specific reason for that. But if we talk about the special event, a or n is used before the special meal. When we are organizing a feast, a party, some function is there, then we have to use a or n before the name of that meal, whether that meal is breakfast, lunch or dinner. Like they were invited to a dinner. The same example which we saw in the previous category, they were invited to dinner or they were invited to a dinner, but both the sentences give just different meaning. In first one we know that there was no specific occasion, the person was invited to a simple meal only. But in the second sentence we get the meaning that it was a special function, and in connection with that function and event, dinner was given to the people, the feast was given to the people. That's why a is used before dinner. So always make this difference. Coming to next is use of the. Use of the is far more comprehensive than a or n. So let's see. Use for both a or n. These articles are used with only countable and singular nouns. This is the condition. But they can be used with countable nouns as well as uncountable nouns. Can be used with singular nouns as well as plural nouns too. Example is the train, or by the way this is the repetition of the example, the garden or the gardens. You can take this way, the train or the trains, the garden, the gardens, this market and these markets. Over here it should have been these markets. Next one is there plus a unique object or thing. Object or thing which is unique in itself, is just one of its own type. There is nothing like it anywhere in this world. For example, the earth, the equator, the sky, and the stars. So earth is unique, one of its type. Equator, just one of its type. That's why the sky, then the stars. So in this way we use with the unique things before the unique things. Next example rule is there plus noun which has become definite due to repetition. So I saw a dog. In this example we'll say with dog, first time article a is used, but when the dog is repeated it has become specific now, particular. First time it was a general noun, but now it has become specific because of the repetition. That's why their dog was very ferocious. So whenever we repeat nouns in our speech, whether oral or written, we have to have the use of there before it. There plus noun which has become definite due to phrase or clause. When some noun is followed by a phrase or it is followed by a clause, and because of the use of clause and phrase after that noun, it becomes particular and specific. So we need to use there before it. The man in white. The man in white. So the phrase in white makes man specific. That's why it takes there before it. The school where I studied. School. Which school being talked about? Where the speaker studied. So now where I studied, this is the clause which makes it particular. That's why there is used before it. The man, which man? Whom I met. So whom I met is clause which defines the man. That's why there is used before it. So we use there before the noun which is followed by either phrase or clause. Next rule is the noun which is definite due to context. Speaker and the listener both understand what we are talking about. So through the situation, through the time frame, and through the context, the things become specific and particular and clear to the speaker and the listener. That's why their principle. Obviously, speaker and the listener know which principle being talked about. Maybe they are the students and they are talking about their principle. Maybe they are teachers and they are talking about their principle. That's why the postman, the person who comes to my locality to distribute the letters and mails. So that postman. The car, maybe I'm talking about my car. Maybe I'm talking about some other car which is known to obviously the listener also. The speaker and the listener know about the car. Which car is being talked about? Next one is there is used before the superlative degree, before the ordinals, and before the word only. So three things are there. Superlative. The funniest, funny, funnier, funniest. We use there always. This is the thumb rule. We always use there before the superlative degrees of adjectives. Then ordinal numbers, first, second, third. So the first, the second, the third, in this way we use. And wherever we find the word only, we have to use there before it. The only event. In this way we use there. Next rule is there plus comparative. This is first. Only two conditions and two situations are there where we use there before the comparative degree. Otherwise, positive and comparative degrees are used with zero article. We don't use any article. But this is the first case when we are using there before it. The first situation is when we talk about two qualities of the same person. Be careful. Two situations are there when we compare the same quality of two different people. We don't use there. But when we compare two qualities of the same person, then we use there with the comparative degree. Example is he is the better writer than actor. One person is having a quality of being a writer and quality of being an actor. One person having two qualities. But if we compare both the qualities, we find that he writes better than he acts. So we'll be using there before the comparative degree. He is the better writer than actor. If we say he is better writer than actor, sentence would be grammatically incorrect. Next situation is to talk about the proportionate result of a comparison. When one activity puts an impact on the result of it, then also that is called proportionate result. So we use the, for that situation also, like the higher you go, the lighter you become. So this is proportionate impact. The higher you go, the lighter you become. The same way, the deeper the well, the sweeter the water. So in such type of the comparisons also, we use the before or with comparative degree. Only two situations are there. Otherwise, we use the before the superlative degrees only. Moving to next is common noun to represent the whole class, like we saw in the case of A or N. When A or N are used before a noun, that noun sometimes represent the whole class. The same case is with they also. They used with a noun can represent the whole class. Like the tiger is in danger of extinction. Over here we are not talking about a specific tiger, rather we are talking about the species of tiger. All the tigers are in danger of being wiped out from the face of the earth. The dog is a faithful animal. So it means we are not talking about a particular dog, rather all the dogs are faithful animals. This is what we want to say. So there, when it is followed by the common noun, it means it represents the whole class. Next is there plus adjective to represent the whole class defined by the adjective. Again, when we use there before any adjective, so there plus adjective put together work just like a common noun. Like the old. So over here, the old means all the old people in this world. The privileged, it means all the privileged people, the people who have special rights. So we are talking about all those. The intelligent means all the intelligent people. The poor, all the poor people in this world. So there plus adjective becomes common noun. It means the whole community related to that adjective. Next is there plus name of water bodies, whether oceans, seas, rivers, bays or small streams. We use there before their names, or gulfs, then group of islands or plural names of the countries, like Netherlands is there. We'll see the examples. Then acronyms of the countries. Obviously USA is acronym, UK is acronym, UAE is acronym. Acronym means when we make short form by using first letter of all the words in a name. Or deserts. So before all these nouns we use there, like the Pacific Ocean. So Pacific Ocean being proper noun, name of the water body. The Ganga being a water body. The Bay of Bengal, again water body. The Andaman Nicobar, this is island. The Philippines, the Netherlands, names in plural. The USA, acronym. The Sahara Desert, the Gobi Desert, the Kalahari, they are the name of the deserts. Coming to next is there is used before the mountains, mountain ranges, but we don't use there before the name of the peaks. We use there before the name of the mountains, but not before the names of the peaks, like the Himalayas, the Aravalli, the Alps. These are the mountain ranges. But if we talk about Mount Everest, we never say the Mount Everest. It would be wrong. We simply use zero article with peaks. So Mount Everest, K2, Kanchenjunga, Dholgiri, all these are the peaks, and we don't use the before their names. Keep it in mind. Next one, there is used before the newspaper, names of the newspapers and magazines, like the Hindu, name of newspaper, the Times of India, the Economic Times, or magazines, the Reader's Digest, the Teacher Plus, the India Today. So in this way we use before the name of newspapers as well as name of the magazines. But there is one newspaper which officially does not take there before its name. By the way, up to 2012, the name of the newspaper was the Hindustan Times. But in 2012, there was taken away. It was removed from the name. Now it is only Hindustan Times. So this is the only newspaper which does not have there before it. Otherwise, all the newspapers and all the magazines, they use there before their titles. But when it comes about grammatical areas and when it comes about the competitive exams, we need to use there before even Hindustan Times. Next is there plus name of direction. Yes. The east, the west, the south, the north, etc. Name of the weathers, yes. The winter, the summer, the autumn, etc. Next, the name of the inventions, scientific inventions like the radio, the TV, the mobile, etc. Next one is name of the musical instruments, yes. The harmonium, the guitar, the piano, etc. etc. Next one is we use there before the name of the trains, ships, or aeroplanes like the Shatabdi Express, name of the train, the Indian Airlines. So in this way we use there with these ones. Coming to next is there plus surname, that refers the whole family. Like if we say the Bakshis, it means all the people in the Bakshi family. We're talking about the whole family. If I say the Sangwans, it means all the people of Sangwan family, particular family which I am talking about, and I refer to all the people, all the members of that family. Next rule is there plus proper noun plus clause to point out one out of many of the same. Yes, with proper noun we do not use articles, but this is another case when there are many things of the same name and we want to talk about one of all of them. Suppose one institution is having many branches at different locations. So name is same, but still there are branches of that institution. So we need to, when we want to point out one of the many, we need to use there before that proper noun. Like I want to see the Mr. Ashok. There are so many people with the name Ashok, but Ashok Sinha, but which Ashok Sinha I am talking about? So this will be done with the help of the article. I want to see the Mr. Ashok Sinha who is GM in accounts, general manager in accounts. Maybe the company has many employees with Ashok Sinha name, but I want to meet only the person who is GM in account section. In such type of the cases we use there before proper noun too. Next one is there plus title. So, sometimes people are given titles. So with that title we use there. You can say Ashoka the Great. Ashoka was given title of great. So we use there before the title the Great. The same way Alexander the Great. So in this way we use there. There were few areas where we need to use there. Next, one more example we can take about the scriptures. We use there before the scriptures, name of the holy books like the Bible, the Quran, the Vedas, the Gita. In this way, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, all these are scriptures and holy books. So we have to use there before their name. Next is before the historical buildings. We use there even before the name of the historical buildings like the Red Fort and the Taj Mahal. So these are the few rules where we need to use there. Now next is omission of there. What are the situations when we use zero article or we have to drop there? First is with proper nouns. Though I mentioned few situations where we have to use they before even proper nouns, but in general, if we exclude those one or two situations, we never use they before the proper nouns like India, Japan, England, etc. They always are used without they before them. Next one is with nouns in possessive case. The boy's uncle, because boy is made into possessive case by using apostrophe s. So with noun with possessive case will never take the before it. So better way to say and communicate this is uncle of the boy. This is the better way. Uncle of the boy rather than saying the boy's uncle. With the name of games like hockey, cricket, football, we don't use the. We use zero article. With body parts and articles of clothes like my hand, we never say the hand. Then my shorts, we don't say the shorts and all. The shorts, the pants, the pajamas, the shirt, the kurta. In this way, we don't use the before the name of the clothes. Coming to next is with the words like bed, church, school, college, university, hospital, court, prison. These are the nouns which have primary as well as secondary purpose. So when these nouns are used for primary purpose, we don't use they with them. But if we are talking about their secondary purpose, then we have to use they before them. So whether the nouns related to these areas are having they before them or they are not having, is the symbol, is the sign whether we are talking about the primary purpose of them or secondary purpose. Let's see the examples. If I say in bed, Rohan is in bed, it means Rohan is sleeping. But if I say in the bed, Rohan is in the bed, it means he is not sleeping, because first purpose, the primary purpose of bed is to sleep on. So maybe Rohan is sick. So Rohan is in the bed, it means Rohan is bedridden. He is sick. Coming to next is in school. When I say in school, it means the child or the person is in the school for the primary purpose, and primary purpose of the school is to impart education, to give education. So if I say my son is in school, it means he has gone to school for education purpose. But if I say my son is in the school, has gone to the school, it means he hasn't gone to get education from there. Maybe he has gone there to meet his friend. Maybe he has gone to deposit the fee of his friend or maybe his son. Any other reason. But the main thing is Rohan hasn't gone to school for academics purpose. So all these things in court means maybe judge and lawyers when they are there for their duties. In the court means for secondary purpose. In prison, obviously, the person is criminal, that's why he has been put behind the bars, or maybe the people, police people who are discharging their duties over there. But if I say in the prison, so it means the person who is being mentioned is not a criminal. He's not put behind bars over there. He has visited jail for different reason and purpose. So this we have to keep in mind. So that was all about the use of articles, students. We'll see you soon with another video. Till then, bye-bye. Take care.